The Big Brain Project is an ideology that Nazizes itself as a claymation. So if a clay pot is stolen from an artifact store, that means the pot itself doesn't belong to the holder of the office. The office is the holder of the pot. So if we are to steal a pot, not only does the brain create aneurysms on the clay tablets that destroy the ability to produce capital, the capital is ingrained on the flesh, and so the flesh dissolves with these intact vertigos in check. So, as the progression of Western society started, there was an evolutionary theory that doubted the speculation of the masses. This was the Hegelian theory of history that gave people the right to overlord their ability to produce capital. So if capital is a Nazi regime, not only does the ability to create fascist income the brackets that delete the lifestyle of choice, the ability to think no longer exists. So they are in doubt of anything that comes towards them. So anything that is a matrix is neglected, and anything that's positive is surplus. So this is where you get Kantian ideology from. Marx is a warping of Kant that allows for the twists of a statist ideology to manifest. So if a Nazi doesn't get a allowance on their tithing, then the Marxist Party denounces the upper class and reduces the sufficient loans as if they are withheld to a party. And these parties go out and they cul-de-sac on other people's land. And this is where you get the idealization of heralds. And heralds are the three Jesuits families that destroy the arks of the kingdom. So, under the reichship of these kingdoms, there's something called the first shinobi. And the first shinobi is the person that allowed for the soul to be manifest in their party. So if a party isn't given the right of the first shinobi, they lose their privilege to be earned as wage. And wage is capital to them, so they are slaves. So if these capitals are existent on their property, they lose their imbioids and allow for Christians to become detached from the gods of their city and be into the pornography of the empire. So this is what the Deku does. A Deku is a Genkai sword that destroys the ability to re-earn your income. So if you don't re-earn your income, the Deku replaces the ability to censor with the ability to freeze. And freezing is the substitution of marriage. So if you do freeze alone, not only must you speculate on the origin of it, you can't unfreeze it unless you have a church. So churches are a ideal, yes, but they must have a founder. And this is how Marx manifests the party of the communists. The communists take over the shinobi so that Hegelians can allow for two-party systems between Marx and Kant. So if a winner is to be made on that behalf of the defeat of a party, not only does the uh, learning disability come with them, the ability to be the Reich carries over. So there's a double widening effect of the empire, so that triple gains are lost as well. So this doesn't prove anything about why we have conspiracy, but it proves one thing about why we have the ideals of the market. Because the market is actually a brain in enhanced mode, it allows for the deletion of the paint of their scaffolding. So that's the only way a market can function rather than a placebo of a capitalist enterprise. So if enterprises don't exist on the substitutional level, teachers take over the industry, and that is how capital is formed on the back of the republic, by not baptizing.